अब हम देश हित में बात करने वाले हैं चीन के गुनाहों की, और साथ ही सिर्फ गुनाहों की बात नहीं करेंगे, हम चीन के झूठ का पर्दाफाश करेंगे, क्योंकि हमारे साथ ब्लॉगर, चाइनीज ब्लॉगर से सीधा संवाद हम करने वाले हैं, जो कि इस वक्त न्यूयॉर्क में मौजूद है। जेनिफर जेंग हमारे साथ लाइव हैं, और आपको बता दें चाइनीज इंसाइडर हैं जेनिफर। उन्होंने ही सबसे पहले इस पूरे पैंडेमिक में चाइना के रोल को लेकर एक्सपोज किए।
मतलब आप ये कह सकते हैं कि शायद भारत के टीवी इतिहास में ये पहली बार होना जा रहा है। बहुत ध्यान से देखिएगा आज का देशित, ये भारतीय टीवी इतिहास में पहली बार है कि जो आपको जेनिफर जेंग नजर आ रही हैं, ये विसल ब्लोअर रही। चाइना के खिलाफ इन्होंने ही आवाज उठाई थी, ये विसल ब्लोअर थी। और किस तरह से चाइना ने कोरोना को फैलाया, मैन मेड वायरस, ये कोई वेट मार्केट में नहीं, ये मैन मेड वायरस। इसी पर बात करते हैं। हमारे साथ जेनिफर इस वक्त जुड़ चुके हैं। अदिति,
thank you for joining, Jennifer. You are on one of the largest TV networks in India. So first of all, being an insider, Chinese insider, as you spent some 35 years there, what can you share with us in terms of your insights, in terms of your learnings and sensibilities about the Chinese cover-up?
I think, as I said in one of my YouTube video program, it is Chinese Communist Party, the CCP's nature to cover up. They don't need to have a reason. It has become an instinct and a habit for them to cover up. And that's number one reason why they would choose to cover up the pandemic. And also because they have a very deep fear about their own fundamental fear about their own legitimacy. So any bad news for them is very fatal. So they want to cover up any bad news first. Number three, they never, I think, respect human life. They murdered, and since its establishment in 1949, more than 80 million Chinese people have died of unnatural death. So they don't care how many people would die because of their cover-up. So that's why they've been cover up all of the pandemic from the very beginning till today.
मतलब आप जेनिफर, आपने जो कहा है मैं एक बार उसका हिंदी में अनुवाद कर देता हूं। जेनिफर बता रही है कि 80 मिलियन के करीब लोगों की मौत हुई है चाइना में कोरोना की वजह से, लेकिन चाइना आंकड़ों को छुपा रहा है। ये एक तरीके से कवर अप करने की कोशिश चाइना कर रहा है, मौत के आंकड़े को छुपा रहा है। पेंडेमिक जो है चाइना ने फैलाया, लेकिन अब एक कवर अप करने की कोशिश चाइना में इस वक्त चल रही है। अदिति,
Jennifer, do you think one would ever know the complete truth with regards to the role of China in this crisis that the world is undergoing right now, given the kind of state control we see there, and in terms of evidence getting destroyed, the records being removed? And you have written and you have said a lot about all these things. So do you think China would have still retained some of the evidence, or do you think the operation cover-up might have been completed?
I think, yes, it could be very difficult for the world to find the entire truth of every detail of everything of the cover-up, and how many people actually died, how many people have actually infected. And because, yes, the Chinese Communist regime has, I believe, destroyed many of the evidence. But still, because this is such a huge thing and so many people involved, so there could be, I think, once for a while, some kind of little piece of evidence leaked by some people who do have the courage, or who do have the motivation, or the sense of justice to reveal some of the truth. So once for a while, we get a little bit true information through those courageous people. And I think the international world should never give up asking questions and demanding an independent investigation. We should not give up because they would, we know they would cover up anyway. I think if the international world gave enough pressure, at least I think people who do have the information know that there is a channel, know that they can share their information if they have a chance.
जेनिफर बता रही हैं कि चाइना में कोरोना का सच बाहर आना इसलिए बहुत मुश्किल है क्योंकि वहां पर स्टेट कंट्रोल्ड मीडिया है, नंबर एक। नंबर दो, जेनिफर ने बताया, लेकिन अंतर्राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर दुनिया के बाकी मुल्कों को हिम्मत नहीं हारनी चाहिए और चाइना को एक्सपोज करना चाहिए। जेनिफर, आई ऑल्सो वॉन्ट टू आस्क यू, यू थिंक WHO and China are in hands in gloves with each other? They are partners in crime. They both are helping each other. WHO, role of WHO in this pandemic, helping China.
Yes, I think they done. I think the very beginning we can see that the WHO basically has just been trying to competing or repeating what the CCP was saying. They didn't try to verify whether the information was true or not. For example, when the CCP said this virus is not human-to-human transmission, they repeated Chinese government's lies. And when I think like Taiwan, America already closed the borders to China, and the WHO was still saying WHO did not advise travel bans or travel and trade restrictions against China. So they are following the CCP's instructions all the way. And on some of their media conferences, they used half of the time to praise the CCP, to repeat the CCP lies, and to mislead the world. And they postponed the date to announce a pandemic and a global emergency for health public status. And I think the WHO, in some sense, is as guilty as the CCP for the outbreak, for the pandemic we are suffering now.
मतलब आप बता रही हैं कि ह्यूमन ट्रांसमिशन की बात चाइना ने छुपाई, मानव से मानव में फैलता है कोरोना, ये बात चीन ने छुपाई, लेकिन WHO ने काउंटर नहीं किया उसको और उसकी बात पर भरोसा किया।
और इसके अलावा साथ ही जेनिफर ये भी बता रही हैं कि जब अमेरिका और ताइवान जैसे देशों ने अपने बॉर्डर्स को सील कर दिया, तब भी WHO खामोशी धारण करे रहा, इस पर सच सामने लेकर नहीं आया, तो इसीलिए WHO की भूमिका पर सवाल उठते हैं। सो जस्ट अ फॉलो अप क्वेश्चन ऑन द रोल ऑफ WHO. My question to you, Jennifer, would be how impartial the probe could be, because as you know, many countries have come together and they have been asking for an impartial probe. So do you think WHO can conduct an impartial probe into the role of China? Is it possible?
I don't have any confidence if this probe is led by WHO. I think WHO experts went to China for several times, but they never, for the first time, they didn't even go to the dirty area in Wuhan. They traveled around in Beijing, they traveled around in other cities without going to the actual, epicenter. What could you find? And on their sixth mission, and I think they General Secretary or the senior assistant to Trudeau's, Mr. Bruce Aylward, he admitted himself that mission was formed under the request of the Chinese President Xi Jinping. So if you did an investigation under the request of the Chinese Communist Party, what do you expect that you could find? And the Chinese Communist Party, I think they have been doing this to not only WHO, to many international organizations, even like the United States nations all the time, because there are many countries, each country has an equal vote in that process. They can bribe some of the maybe poor countries, Africa countries, to have those countries vote for the CCP and to say good things, to side with the CCP. So you can have an international initiative or investigation or whatever, but they can try to craft that process, that initiative, or that organization from within. They've been doing this for all these years. So under such a serious, I think, situation and problem, we should be very, very careful and really learn the lessons. If WHO had been working, had been trustworthy, the situation wouldn't be what we are facing now.
मतलब WHO पर भरोसा नहीं किया जा सकता है। अगर WHO गंभीर होता और भरोसे लायक होता तो आज इस तरह की स्थिति देखने को नहीं मिलती। वन क्वेश्चन जेनिफर, यू थिंक दिस इज अ मैन मेड वायरस?
I don't. Yes, I think right now we don't have enough very solid evidence to say whether it's man-made or not. But I think we do have enough reason or enough evidence to believe this virus came out of the lab, P4 lab in Wuhan. It could be escaped by a mistake or by any other reasons. But whether it's man-made or not, I think we still have to wait to see more evidence. But it is highly possible it's leaked from the P4 lab. We have, I think, a lot of cancer substance evidence to support that. For example, I think very early on, I think in January, the Chinese experts from the Chinese CDC, I think, already published a scientific study showing that the first group of patients, and especially the first patient who was found to have this disease, did not have an exposure to the seafood market. So if and 27 out of the first 45 patients they researched didn't have an exposure to the seafood market. They already knew they didn't go to the seafood market. So why did they claim that the virus came from the seafood market? They want to, I think, spread false information so that people won't focus their attention on the real possible origin of this virus. Because if it did escape from the lab, they are more responsible to this pandemic. I think now the CCP has already realized how huge, how tremendous the losses the world is suffering. So they are very afraid that the world wants to hold it accountable. So it would try everything it could to escape from being held responsible for this pandemic.
तो जेनिफर को आप ये कहते हुए सुनने सबसे पहले तो मैं आपको बता दूं सीसीपी से मतलब जेनिफर का चाइनीज कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी यानी एस्टैब्लिशमेंट, और साथ ही जेनिफर ये कह रही हैं जो चाइनीज अथॉरिटीज द्वारा ये थ्योरी फ्लोट की गई कि इसका ओरिजिन कोरोना वायरस का ओरिजिन वेट मार्केट था, ये कंप्लीटली फॉल्स है, गलत है, क्योंकि ये वुहान इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ वायरोलॉजी से आया है। इस बात क्योंकि जो ज्यादातर पेशेंट्स थे, इस बात की तस्दीक ये बात करती है कि जो ज्यादातर कई पेशेंट्स ऐसे हैं जो कभी इस वेट मार्केट में गए ही नहीं। तो ये अपने आप में बहुत बड़ा तथ्य है, बताने के लिए काफी कि किस तरह से चाइनीज अथॉरिटीज ने मिसगाइड किया है। जेनिफर, व्हेन यू आर सिटिंग and you are chatting with us and you're sitting in New York, do you fear for your life also, given that you have been exposing the authorities, their lies, and how they are trying to destroy the evidence at the same time?
Yes, I think since I escaped from China in 2001 after being put in a labor camp for 1 year, I've been keeping exposing CCP's all different of lies and the human rights abuses to Falun Gong practitioners and to other group of faiths in China. So for all these years, the CCP never stopped threatening me either through my family or through other ways. But I made a decision back in 2002 when they arrested my ex-husband that I would not be silenced. If I choose to be silenced and to be blackmailed by them, I would never have the chance to speak out the truth anymore. And so many people's lives are at stake. To rely on people who can speak the truth. So I think although the threat is always there, I still choose to speak out the truth because I think this is very important if we want to defeat the CCP's lies and to save more lives of the people in the world.
Okay, Jennifer, you think all the countries across globe should come together and counter China? Like 62 nations are coming for impartial probe. All the nations across globe, all the countries should come and counter China. I mean, expose China. All the countries.
Yes. I think the world has suffered enough and loss to not to do anything. If we continue allow the CCP to lie to this world, to manipulate public opinions, and to spread disinformation, misinformation, and I think we could suffer greater losses in the future. So the stake is really, really high. I think it's high time for every country, every government to act now to stop the CCP from lying and from doing more evil to the humankind.
I have last couple of questions. One of the questions is Wuhan. There have been 6 new cases in Wuhan, and the establishment is now talking about, if I'm not wrong, and probably you can correct me, some 11 million tests in 10 days' time. So yes. So what could be the actual figure of infected people in China that China has been hiding so far? And do you believe that there is still more to come in this?
Yes, of course. I think it's actually already happening now. Right now, I think in the northeast of China, in Jilin, Heilongjiang, Harbin, all those of cities, many new cases have been found. And I just read another, I think, some Twitter post saying at least 10,000 people already put under quarantine in Shenyang city. So this is already happening, and in Guangzhou back a while ago, and now they are doing tests to 11 million people in Wuhan. I actually just did a YouTube program to talking about the secrets behind the 11 million tests in Wuhan. So it is already happening. It has never stopped. How many have infected? I think if you compare the overseas numbers with the population in China, if we say millions of people, that is still a very small number. Right now, in America has only 300 million people population, much less, less than a third than China. But America already got more than 1 million confirmed cases. So how could China, as the origin of the outbreak, have that small number? I think nobody will believe that at all. But of course, how many actually are there? We still don't have no idea.
Thank you, Jennifer. Please take care of yourself, stay safe, and thank you for your time and sharing your insights on our network. Thank you so much.
देखिए, एक चीज है जो जेनिफर की तरफ से बताई गई है। आप लोग इंडिया में नैरेटिव ये सुन रहे होंगे ना कि भारत ने चीन को पछाड़ दिया, कोरोना के मामले में भारत चीन से आगे निकल गया। ऐसा नहीं है, ऐसा बिल्कुल नहीं है, क्योंकि चीन ने कभी असली आंकड़े सामने रखे ही नहीं। सरकारी आंकड़ों के जरिए संक्रमण के आंकड़ों को दबाया गया, कभी चीन ने असली आंकड़े रखे ही नहीं। इसलिए जब यह कहा जाता है कि भारत चीन से आगे निकल गया संक्रमण के आंकड़ों में, ये तथ्यात्मक रूप से पूरी तरह से गलत है। थैंक यू सो मच जेनिफर फॉर ज्वाइनिंग अस।